designing a structure like this to imagine all the scenarios of things that might occur to the building during its construction. It's my understanding that when this building was designed, one of the criteria that it was designed for was a direct hit from a 707. Clearly, planes are larger today, and it wasn't considered the effects of the aftermath fires and high temperatures that would have been applied to the structure subsequent to the collision as we saw today.
Because the weight above it collapses it. All you have to do is watch these buildings fall with that understanding in mind, and you will watch buildings not collapsing, but being demoed.
A couple of blocks from that area, we heard it, we saw it, a gigantic cloud of smoke and debris billowing down Church Street North right at us. People ran for their lives, including police officers. After the first building collapsed, some of those
blown up. Windows being blown up. Squibs being blown out windows 50 feet on symmetrical sides on all four sides. No way caused by a random collapse.
Before 10 o'clock Eastern Time, the first of the towers collapsed. It created a fog of dust and smoke and showering Lower Manhattan with glass and other debris. Half an hour later, the second tower then gave way. Its steel and concrete core melted by tons upon tons of burning aviation fuel. A tornado of dust and debris sent people literally running for their lives. The buildings...
And ladies and gentlemen, my 17-year-old son pointed out, how could it have collapsed upon itself if it fell out like an umbrella away from the center, which it did. Take a look.
Shortly before 10 o'clock Eastern Time, the first of the towers collapsed. It created a fog of dust and smoke and showering Lower Manhattan with glass and other debris. Half an hour later, the second tower then gave way. Its steel and concrete core melted by tons upon tons of burning aviation fuel. A tornado of dust and debris sent people literally...
What we're telling you is that you have been lied to, and if you are an American conservative, you are American right-wing conservative, someone who is a churchgoer and believes in truth, you better pay attention, because I don't believe in your world that your God will forgive the ignorance of a fraud like this. Ladies and gentlemen, the great delusion where we would believe a lie has taken place. It's 9/11.
Why they hate Americans so much and would celebrate such a tragedy where at least there are as many as 10,000 people have died today?
Well, there are many people in the Middle East who hate America for a whole variety of reasons. The U.S. is a symbol of Western capitalism, which they fear. The U.S. supported the Shah of Iran, which they detested. The U.S. has troops in Saudi Arabia, which is a sacred Muslim land. It is true the U.S. supports Israel, which they hate. The U.S. is oil companies, which they hate. There's a whole variety of reasons why they hate the United States.
What do you think happens next? If, in fact, we won't point to anybody in particular, but if this was a terrorist group, what is the next step? Does this, what happens? Because the United States is going to want to react fast and decisively. What do you see happening next?
Well, I hope, first of all, that it will not only be the United States. I think all democratic countries in the world should unite against this terrorist threat. I hope that the U.S. and other countries will collaborate or will cooperate among themselves and will try to bring these people to justice and should the entire Western world.
And we have grafted ourselves into the Middle East through that occurrence, through the excuse of that occurrence, just like the plan Chairman Lemon gave McNamara in 1961 to get public support to go invade Cuba. By the time the day was over, by the time the 9/11 news day was over, the American public had awoken like a great giant. And they were ready to go to war. Their eyes were focused. They had been played. They regressed, but they came back, and they have been waging war ever since. And we have created a sin by creating a war on terror, because we should not have a war on terror. Nations should be held responsible for their citizens, and any kind of terrorism should be answered by and to the nation it originated. There should be an iron fist policy in this respect, and then nations would keep their own people in check. Ladies and gentlemen, it happened in the Cold War. Please believe Soviet and American forces kept radical forces within both states from conflict. So the question is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about your United States military, you being told, don't worry about wars in the future, they won't have to be fought against armies. They'll have to be fought against small battles against people. You know, disgruntled people. Living in tyranny. Their mineral rights, their property rights, their national treasure being raped and torn into a corporate grid, money making for the top 5%. This is what you're getting, and it started on 9/11. A lie, a lie, a lie. We challenge you to come and look at the movies, watch the tapes, the clips, join CPR, turn your back on the Democratic Party, turn your back on the Republican Party. They both are bought and paid for. There are pictures of them with their dogs or something. These people will not allow them to change. And for the first time in history, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in history, we have 3 senators to pick from. Senators, the insider's insider in Washington. We have 3 of them. All 3 of them are complicit. All 3 of them understand what 9/11 was. They would have to. And you will know when you watch how blatant it is that they have to. So, say what you will, but I think it's pretty damn coincidental that you have a president for 8 years who decides to retire in New York.
He knows how important it is to speak with one voice on behalf of our country.
So his wife can become the senator in New York, which, coincidentally, within a year or so, is going to be the center of American political culture due to 9/11. Wow, big coincidence. I don't believe it. Sorry. No. They're part of the conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen. It's what my opinion is, and I think yours is going to be pretty shaken too once you see the facts. So please come in, take a look. If you believe what if you can believe what your lying eyes are telling you, well then what we need you to do is come and support us at CPR. Support us, Citizens Protection Representative, Consumer Protection Representative, Constitution Protection Representative. It's time to change laws. We don't have to have a revolution. We can revolutionize the laws. This is a nation of laws, a world based on law, and we need to empower citizens, consumers, and the Bill of Rights and Constitution all over the planet so that these corporate, tyrannical pirates never are able to try to perpetrate something where they take these rights away and destroy them, because we're going to give them to everybody on the planet. We need to put the American nuclear power behind that. That's the only thing that's worth supporting, and it's the only thing that will protect our rights at home. If everybody on the planet has them, they can't come after ours. And these corporate scum, these robber barons, these people that are crushing the American people and doing it on a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Clinton himself said they needed 12 million Mexicans here, Mexican nationals, because there would be nobody to do the work. Because liberal scam artists have preached for 20 years not to have children. And our population, we have not replaced ourselves. The baby boomers, you are the most selfish generation America's ever